Most people assume that bullies disappear after high school. They move away, they grow up, or life simply separates you from them. But sometimes, life has a strange sense of humor. Because one day, years after graduation, I opened a tenant application form, and staring back at me was the name of the girl who made my high school life miserable. My bully. Except this time, things were different. Back in school, she had power, popularity, confidence, an audience. But now she needed something from me, because the person approving her apartment lease was me. And what happened after that? Well, let's just say karma has a way of showing up when you least expect it. Before we get into this story, if you enjoy satisfying revenge stories where karma eventually catches up to people, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're watching, tell me in the comments, have you ever run into someone who treated you badly years later? Trust me, this story proves that sometimes life gives you unexpected opportunities for closure. Now let's get into it. When I was in high school, I wasn't exactly the most popular kid. I mostly kept to myself. I focused on school, worked part-time after classes, and tried to stay out of drama. But there was one person who made that difficult. Her name was Jessica Turner. Jessica thrived on attention, loud personality, sharp tongue, always surrounded by friends who laughed at whatever she said. Unfortunately, I became one of her favorite targets. It started small. Comments in the hallway, snide jokes during class. Nothing extreme enough for teachers to notice, but enough to make every school day uncomfortable. Then it escalated. She mocked my clothes, my job, even my family situation, and her friends laughed along. Eventually graduation came, and I moved on. Years passed. College, work, real responsibilities. By 25, my life had taken an unexpected path. I was managing several low-income apartment complexes in Cleveland for an older property owner who lived out of state. He trusted me to handle everything. Tenant approvals, maintenance issues, rent collection. One building had over 200 units. But what mattered most to me wasn't just managing properties. It was helping people. Many tenants were struggling families trying to rebuild their lives. Single parents, workers between jobs, people escaping bad situations. I tried to be the kind of landlord who actually cared. If someone couldn't afford furniture, I found donated pieces. If someone fell behind on rent, I worked out payment plans. Sometimes I even gave tenants small jobs around the building. Over time, the residents trusted me. The building started to feel like a community. Then one afternoon, I was reviewing rental applications in my office. One name caught my eye, Jessica Turner. For a second, I stared at the page. Couldn't be the same person, right? But when I checked the photo on her ID, yeah, it was definitely her. My high school bully. All those memories flashed through my mind. The jokes, the humiliation. But strangely, I didn't feel angry. High school felt like a lifetime ago. So I approved the application. Jessica moved into the building a week later. At first, everything seemed normal. She probably didn't recognize me right away. But about a month later, the real problem started. One evening, I was walking through the lobby checking maintenance issues. Jessica stood near the entrance, talking loudly on her phone. When she saw me, her expression changed. Recognition hit. Instead of greeting me, she smirked. "Oh, wow," she said loudly. "Didn't expect to see you here." Her voice had the same mocking edge from school. I stayed calm. "Yeah, I manage the building." Instead of acting like an adult, she started making sarcastic comments about my job. And the worst part? She did it in front of other tenants and staff. For a moment, that old frustration crept back. But I took a breath. Then I said, "Jessica, we're adults now. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect in my building." And I walked away. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Word spreads fast in the big apartment building. Within a couple days, everyone had heard what happened. And the tenants didn't appreciate someone insulting the person who helped them. So the building community started pushing back. At first it was subtle. Cold stares. People ignoring her. Then it escalated. Someone taped a crude poster to her door, calling her out. Another tenant left loud machinery running in the unit above her and left for the weekend. Whenever she walked through the building, people whispered. After about 2 weeks, Jessica came into my office. She looked exhausted and frustrated, completely different from the confident bully I remembered. "I need to break my lease," she said. Apparently, the pressure from other tenants had become too much. Things were getting tense, so I agreed to release her from the contract. Moving day arrived a few days later. Jessica hired movers. They arrived ready to load everything into the elevator. But there was one problem. The elevator required a special key for moves. And somehow, that morning, I couldn't find it. I checked my desk, my drawers, my jacket pockets. Nothing. So the movers had no choice but to carry everything down the stairs. 4 flights, box after box. Furniture, mattress, couch. Jessica completely lost it. She stormed down the hallway yelling, kicked my office door, and accused me of doing it on purpose. I leaned back in my chair and shrugged. Maybe it was petty, but after everything she had done years ago, and the way she tried humiliating me again, I allowed myself that one moment of satisfaction. Eventually, she left the building, and honestly, the place felt peaceful again. Watching the movers struggle down those stairs, hearing her complaints echo through the hallway, I realized something. For years, I thought bullies always escape consequences. But sometimes life gives you a moment where the balance shifts, not through anger, just through karma. Looking back now, I'm older and less interested in revenge. But I won't lie, that moment felt like closing a chapter. Because sometimes the people who try to tear you down eventually stand right in front of the person they underestimated. And that's when karma quietly does its work. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more revenge stories. And tell me in the comments, what's the most unexpected reunion you've ever had with someone from your past? Because sometimes life has a very interesting way of bringing people back together.